Aloha Stickies!
Welcome back to another fun and exciting episode of the Stick with Kaji Podcast. I'm Loanne.
And I'm Sean.
And you can follow me on Instagram here at Loanne Kaji, where I showcase things that I'm doing on a daily basis. Not daily, that's too much, but just what I eat, places I go. And if you care, you can join on Instagram. If you guys don't know, we're the parents of Emma, Kate, Ryan from Ryan's World. So today we thought that we would do kind of like an evolution of the Ryan's World universe character. There's so many of them, right? And if you're a parent, you're probably confused as who is Peck? You know, who's Combo? How do they fit into the storyline? And yeah, so today we're going to try to explain it from the start.
The reason why we started thinking about introducing animated characters into Ryan's World was because we wanted to make our own original t-shirt. So we look at the other YouTubers doing the videos and we always see them wearing custom t-shirts, and then we wanted to have one too for our channel. Yeah, and then when we started thinking about the maybe it's a logo or not, but maybe it's more fun. Maybe if it's character, maybe it's more relatable for the kids, and maybe in the future that character could be in animation. So we kind of landed on maybe we introduce a new character, and then we wanted to see animated version of Ryan too. So we started working with this t-shirt company called Teespring, and I think a lot of people already know about Teespring because they're a massive company now. So we work with them, and they say they can make a custom t-shirt, so they just need the initial design for them to work off from. So first we ask Ryan to write or come up with his own character. So he drew this stick figure character on his paper using like a red and yellow pen. It looks like a superhero character, and it looks like it's himself. So I took the inspiration from his drawing, and I drew an animated character with just pens, and send it off to the designer. And from there, I started working with the graphic designer to fine-tune the character design that's going to be on t-shirt. And there are a lot of different versions, and I can show you some of the different versions of Red Titan before it was completed. Even the initial phase, the skin tone was different. Like, it was a lot darker than our current version. And his figure was a little bit chubbier.
Well, he was younger. And so you know how when you're a toddler, your body is a little bit more, you know what I mean?
We kind of started slimming down because when we started putting the movement into that character, I was like, this looks a little bit chubbier than we initially expected. So we kind of changed the design over the years. That's how we came up with the design of Red Titan. Was initially Ryan drew the stick figure, and then we kind of transformed it into animated character.
So when we thinking about t-shirts and stuff, we had a lot of fan requests back then when there was comments. We had a lot of fan requests saying, hey, do you guys have any merch or anything that we can buy for our kids? And so, our toys wasn't around then, right? So a lot of YouTubers just do t-shirts or pants or hat or something like that. So for us to start, we thought we can do t-shirts, right? But the thing is, we thought it's weird if we have like just actual Ryan on the t-shirt design, and so I thought it's better if it's an actual, just like an animated character versus the actual real human being person. So that's how it kind of started. And then, after he drew the initial design, we did ask him, okay, well, if this is a superhero, I mean, what kid doesn't want to be a superhero when they're 3, So we asked him, what superpower do you want? And he said, I want to be strong, So strength was what he picked. This is what, it is now. If you guys can see, it's tiny, so zoom in. And that's why, I think you guys figured out this is the dumbbell?
Yeah.
The dumbbell.
Just so we can emphasize that he has a super strength.
Right.
And even though he has a cape, initially we didn't think he's going to fly. Right. So his only ability was just the strength at that time. And the reason why we wanted to stick with just one ability at that time was we wanted to make a different version of a superhero character of Ryan. So we said Red Titan with the super strength. and we were thinking about blue something with different ability, and green and yellow and so on. So we wanted to have a different color variation of a superhero of Ryan.
We did have Blue Dragon was our second one.
Yeah, and it looks like it's like Ryan wearing the like a dragon onsi, but that was the initial concept of the a superhero too, like the blue version of Ryan. And Ryan had the idea of like a green beast, and looking like a wolf-looking character. Ryan with Ryan's costume. But yeah, so we kind of stopped at the Red Titan just there because that kind of stood out. That design stood out the most to me. So we wanted to kind of stick with that design. And instead of just introducing all different versions of Ryan, we started thinking about maybe we should introduce just Ryan's friend instead of just all different Ryans. And this is when we started the company too. So we had editor and we have an animator and we have all different teams now who could bring our visions and ideas into the life. So we're like, okay, why not maybe introduce a completely new character? So going back to the Red Titan a little bit. So when we designed the Red Titan, we also wanted to make sure it's something that we can easily make costume out of. So Ryan can dress up as a Red Titan too. That's why when you look at the design, it looks somewhat a little bit simpler, right? Like a white shirt with R sign on it, with a yellow belt and the red pants. We kind of intentionally did it in that way so we can custom make the costume whenever we want to.
I mean, we did have a little bit of special unique element on his mask. There's like a little lightning, right?
Right. And I think that was the success. I feel like the color scheme that we chose fit perfectly, like a red, white, and yellow. Those combinations, it really pops. So when we had the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade this past 2 years, Red Titan was there as a giant balloon. And I feel like maybe it's just maybe biased because it's our own character, but I feel like that stood out more than any other characters.
Right.
As there was Red Titan and some other characters, new characters joined the same year as Red Titan was Boss Baby. Compared to Boss Baby, Red Titan, come on, it's pretty obvious which one was is more eye-catching, right? I felt like it was kind of coincidence, but I felt like we're really proud that we chose these design, especially the Red Titan. I think came out great. And after that, we decided to expand our portfolio, our universe of Ryan's World, into different characters because we thought just that Red Titan, the Ryan character, looks lonely by itself.
Right.
And as we thinking about branding our channel and expanding it, we didn't want Ryan to be the sole focus every time we launch a new channel. So we have to have a new character who could host a new channel. That's why we started brainstorming the idea, and then we came up with the Gus the Gummy Gator.
Looking good!
Every time we introduce a new character, one thing we wanted to make sure is we carry the same attribute, one of the attributes from Ryan into the new character. So for Gus, we thought adventurous would be a good attribute that Ryan has. Maybe we thought we could implement that into the characters. So Gus has the very adventurous personality built into his character. So we kind of started out from there, and then we started thinking about we want animal-based character, and then we start exchanging the ideas. Could it be a dog, or could it be
a cat, a rat? I don't know. So many different options, but
I don't know why we decided on the alligator.
But ultimately, we landed on an alligator. And at first, we didn't know what the design would look like. And Sean went back and forth, right, with a designer. So
first, I initial designed the Gus, and here's the initial design. First, I hand-drew the initial concept of Gus, the red T-shirt, and his initial Gus the Gummy Gator, so GG. Yeah, kind of have a little cute kind of pose. I wanted to make sure he's not really that scary, even though he's alligator. So that's kind of how the initial concept, and then quickly just send that over to the designer.
Yeah, we're just thinking about what would make him unique. We thought about, Cookie Monster, right? He likes cookies. So I thought maybe he should have something unique about him that he likes. But because I guess his name is Gus and he's a gator, we thought gummies. So.
And gummy was such a hot topic back then. Like there were a lot of YouTube videos associated with gummy. So
right.
We thought it was perfect. And the way I tried to work on this one, I worked with a different character designer. This designer who specializing making the character into toy. So he has a background of making the design into toy and also character design. I thought it's easy. It's the best fit for us to work with this person, this designer, because the Gus, when we started designing the Gus, we had a vision of trying to launch this channel into a puppet show. So Gus essentially needs to be a puppet. So not only we need to design the character like iconic and a lovable character, but it has to be feasible being into a puppet. That's why I working with this designer, and he, after I gave him my sketch, he gave us these 4 different options. So one of these could have been Gus.
I know, and it's kind of funny to think about in the beginning. It says GG on there, but ultimately we decided on the word Gus because I guess when people look at GG, you know, a lot of people might not know what it stands for and might
be a good game. You know?
Yeah, Gucci Gang or something. So.
Oh my gosh.
So we thought, nah, maybe we should not keep that name.
So it's therefore very different designs.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was a little bit leaning toward the 4th one, the brown-looking alligator there.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of cool too. Very buff, very kind of athletic build. I thought that was kind of funny too. But essentially, I wanted to lean toward the very first option, the version that you guys see, because it looks cuddly. And not only I want that to be a puppet, but maybe it could be a plush, and you know. I thought it's more relatable. It's just more kiddish. So, and it stood out more, the color schemes. So yeah, I told him, hey, yeah, let's move forward this version, and then let's change a few things. And I gave him some of the pointers, and this is what he came up with, this puppet design.
I think there's footage of us unboxing him for the first time.
You know, that moment, I was so excited because it's something that we drew up on the paper that come into life, and being able to actually use it in the video, we were so excited. I was counting on days when the puppet Gus shows up to the office. And yeah, because of that reason, his design was a little bit tricky, right? Because his hands were flapping because he's puppet.
Right.
So every time we draw a sketch of the illustration, it looks a little bit awkward because his hands like this and legs too. And his body is like a little barrel shape. So it's all because he was puppet. And we had such a fun time.
Yeah.
Doing the puppet show with Gus, it was really fun. And our team was doing a really great job making the contents. But one thing I noticed during the puppet show was we're missing some component because it being the puppet show. One is the facial expression. You can move the mouth and you can kind of shake the body, but you can't really emphasize the facial expressions.
Right. So it's hard to tell if he's sad or he's excited or scared because it's the same facial expression throughout.
Yeah. So I feel like this is not the direction we should go. I think facial expression reaction is really big on YouTube videos, especially if there is like a one person on camera hosting the channel. That person needs to be able to express those reactions. So that was missing from Gus. So when we launched the next channel, I wanted to overcome the problem. But before that, it was funny to point out the Gus channel. We had a huge followers from the autistic kids.
Yeah.
There are a lot of parents emailing us about, hey, thank you so much for the Gus content. Our kids love it. And I think, it's my theory, but I think those kids feel more connected with Gus because he didn't have the facial expression. Right? They feel like more relatable because Gus has the facial expressions and everything is just through just the vocal.
Yeah, and I remember in the beginning too, parents keep asking, can they get their own Gus version? You know, can they have a plushie of Gus? And during that time, we haven't launched any toys, so we don't even know what's the step to take to get, from a puppet Gus to a plushie to even, give out or sell to people.
Yeah, and we tried several different custom plush designers who could design Gus, and then we have multiple different versions in the office, and some of them didn't come out great. And a lot of times what we do with the one that didn't come out great was used as we call it a stunt Gus when we film the video. And there's some scenes that may it's a little bit like splashing water or
Messy.
doing messy challenge, and it gets dirty, right? So this puppet Gus actually cost me $5,000 each, and every time I try to make a new one, it costs about the same amount, and I don't want to waste that much money to build a new one every time we get the puppet dirty. So I use stunt Gus for those scenes. Maybe Gus kind of fly over the sky, then we have to like toss that stunt Gus over, and that stunt Gus gone through a lot of lot of troubles throughout the years. So that's what we did, and eventually we were able to make the Gus into plush finally. And there are different licensees who made the Gus puppet, but I think my most favorite is the Build-A-Bear one.
Yes, it's adorable.
Can I bring it?
Yeah. One sec.
All right, and this is the Build-A-Bear Gus plushie.
What do you guys think?
And those Gus fans now can buy this on a Build-A-Bear store, and they can have their own Gus. It's so cuddly.
Hi, Gus. I can't believe how, Gus came such a long way, right? From the initial design of GG, right? To his little flappy hands until now.
Right, now he has a real arm.
Yeah.
And because we transitioned from the puppet to animation, we have to find a way to make the Gus more like livable character. Because the arm is flapping, he cannot hold anything, he cannot walk around with those flappy legs either. So we have to give him a real leg and arms. Yeah, he's gone through, and his eyes too. When we work on the animation, a lot of animators ask me, how does Gus blink?
True.
It's just his eyeballs just sitting on top of his head. How do you express his blinking action?
True. I can't remember right now. In the animation, does Gus ever blink?
He does. I think. But then it's fine. It's front facing or 3/4, right?
Oh, right, yeah.
But then from back side.
Oh, true.
Do you see the white side of the eyeballs, or you see some sort of green?
Yeah, there's no lid.
So when you start thinking about animation, and then you start thinking about all different angle, you start thinking, what's the anatomy of the characters? So that's important when you think about the character design.
Yeah, but it was our very first design, right after the Red Titan. Red Titan doesn't count because it's based on an actual real person, right? Gus is the first one that we came up from scratch, so it doesn't really have anything associated with anything that we known. So. And
there's some funny stories about those puppet Gus, because we've gone through so much stuff. He has a loose tooth, so one of those teeth that he has on his mouth is so loose. A lot of times it just falls off in the video, and a lot of times we have to bring a hot glue gun and then just put it on quickly. But.
Yeah, I mean, each one costs a lot of money, so.
I think we have like 3 or 4 Guses.
Yeah.
Gus puppets. So anyway, from there, we wanted to launch another channel featuring an original character. So that's, we already have Gus, and then we wanted to introduce a new format for this channel. And as I was researching different channels, and I come across a VTubers content in Japan, and this is way before the VTuber, even terminology of VTuber was around. I saw this channel, and I saw animated character hosting as a YouTuber on her channel, and I thought it was really authentic, and even though it was an animated character, I felt like everything was just coming from just a real personality. So I really wanted to translate that, because a lot of times I think it was using motion capture unit software. That's why there are a lot of improv, there are a lot of moment where she doesn't really talk, there's like a facial expressions. So that's why I felt like it was more authentic. Versus animated content, it's very heavily scripted. There's no downtime, and it just feel like you're just watching a show, versus when you watch this VTuber content, you feel like really connected in personal level. So I wanted to create something like that. So we found software to do it, and that's when we introduced the Combo Panda. And when we started designing Combo Panda, we spent a lot of time. I think we spent the most time designing Combo Panda, right? Because one, we have the multiple animators now in house at that time, so we want to fully use their capability on designing the characters, and also we have to decide like what category of a channel it'll be, because we don't want to overlap with existing channels. And Ryan's growing up, and his new interest is gaming, so we decided on doing the gaming, right? And the motion capture unit was working perfectly for the gaming content, because the one that we were using was like a beta version where it only could move the upper body, and then only replicate the facial expressions only, and lip sync. And then I was thinking, like, what kind of content that the character just sits still and then just doing something, but then you can do facial expression, and then, it's a gaming content. So we landed on gaming content, so we needed a character that looked like a gamer, right?
Right.
So we started thinking about the character design, or sort of animal which it's based on. And were there any other animals that we were kind of debating?
I don't remember. I think we did same thing. Every time we design a new character, we always go through so many different animal ideas. Should it be a monkey, right? Should it be a cat? Should it be a hamster? So many choices, or a tiger. But ultimately, I can't remember what happened, but we landed on a panda.
Yeah, and then once we landed on Panda, the one thing I pressed to the designer was this character need to look a little bit more mischievous, or look a little bit rebellious, because I'm trying to age up the content and trying to replicate this character in an age group where he has to represent this age group who plays video games, and they often little bit rebellious. They're in a phase that they want to be cool and hip.
Right. So we were thinking, like 8+ range when we were designing it.
Right. And I was trying to think of the good kind of inspirational character for the combo, and one character was the Sonic. When you look at Sonic and his normal facial expression, it looks like he's angry a little bit, right? So I wanted to kind of take that component. So that's why, he's a little bit angry. He was even more angry in the beginning, because I thought that would make him a little bit more relatable and cool. I don't want to make all the characters being always happy and positive. So, the combo is this signature facial expression was because I wanted it that way.
Yeah, and combo, same thing, right? Went through lots of different design, and his hair, his blonde little highlights here, it was multiples of different colors.
A lot of times, like, it just, you can't tell that it's the highlight is there. It's really subtle.
Yeah.
I remember my designer like sneaked in and then just changed the color, and I didn't notice. And the next day I was like, wait a minute, I said it's yellow. Why is it different color? So he changed it back. But a lot of times when we trying to make a toy and we have to cut the budget, and a lot of times if the character have too many different color variations, it costs too much, and then we have to cut down we have to simplify the design. A lot of times this is where the budget cut goes.
Yeah,
to.
I never knew that, even before you launched a toy, right? You just think, you want all these different colors. But then once you create the toy, when it comes to life, right, they would tell you, oh, well, it's going to cost a lot extra just to add one extra color. So it's just crazy, like things you don't even think about or know that it would affect the cost that much by adding just one extra splash of color. Even if you just put like a polka dot or something, it would cost more than if without it. If it's like a different color than the one you already have.
You know that the Gus have freckles, right? Here. It used to be like a darker green. But you see, like this is kind of similar color to the like right here, the body color, because of the we have to kind of save money. So now we know.
Yeah, because we didn't do that, and then when it goes on shelf, then the cost, right, to the consumer will even be more than what it is. So. And
then once we got the hang of it, like we really liked having combo. On his channel, it was so new. It's such a new concept having the VTuber characters for kids content and combining it with the gaming. It was really innovative idea back then. And it was so time efficient too. We were able to crank up one video within like 2 days. And since it was all motion captured and the movement of the character, it was just done by the voice actor through the webcam.
So it's just somebody that if you move, then the character on screen move.
Right.
And and then you can also press key buttons too for it to manually move.
Yeah, because combo is so animated. Like a lot of facial expression, it's not something you can do with your actual face. It's like an eye exploding, or like he's tearing up, and then it looks like a waterfall. You can't really do that with actual regular face. So we can't do that with a motion capture. So there is multiple hotkeys that the voice actor can use to activate those animations. But yeah, so once we got hang of it, and the software itself, from beta version to real version, it has a lot more feature. We thought we could move into more and more animated content, and we introduced Peck the penguin.
Oh, cool.
And the Peck. The design was kind of quick. We kind of designed it right away. We loved the design, but the name we struggle a little bit, right? We initially went with Pete the penguin. And we started researching and found some issue with the trademarks.
Right.
The existing Pete something, and then we couldn't really get through on the registration for the name. So we had to change Pete's name or Peck's name to Peck.
Yeah, and it was crazy to think about because during then, I had my heart set on Pete. So when Sean told me, we can't use Pete, maybe we can change to Peck, I was thinking, Peck the penguin? That doesn't sound cool at all. But now it's been over the years, and I actually really happy and satisfied with the name Peck. I think it's really cute. And I love his little snowflake on his stomach.
Yeah.
So the same thing that Sean was mentioning, each character is based on an attribute of Ryan. For Peck, it's curiosity. And when Ryan was in preschool, every year, at the end of the year, the teacher would always give out like certificates, of what your kids accomplished or some awards. And Ryan, every single year, he would always get one of his award was the most curious in his class. And it's true. Every time we go somewhere, he's always asking a lot of questions. One time my mom took him to a butterfly exhibit, and there was somebody there who explaining everything about butterflies, and I think the butterfly exhibit portion where the person was explaining it was supposedly only last 15 minutes. But he was so curious about all these different things. He stayed after, like 15 minutes extra after, to ask additional questions. Yes, even till today, too, I just love the fact that he's so curious, Ryan. He always, almost every day, he would go and just randomly ask me questions. Mommy, why does this? Or how come this? But a lot of time I felt bad because I don't know the answer to it. So I'm always saying, you know what? I'm going to write that down. I will research it tonight and then tell you tomorrow.
It's funny, even like a visual too. Like when Ryan wears glasses, he slightly just kind of resemble of the Peck, right?
Yeah.
That really shows all these characters have a little bit of a sense of Ryan. And Peck is one of my favorite too. Not only he's just curious and eager to learn, he's always kind of funny too. There are a lot of kind of comedic humor that he has that always kind of makes me laugh. So he's one of my favorite. And after that was Alpha Alexa.
Yeah, so we introduced so many boyish character, right? We have the Red Titan. We have Combo Panda, which is also a boy. We have Gus and Peck the penguin. Okay, side note of Peck the penguin. When we introduce it, it's supposed to be a male character, right? But it's so funny. It took Ryan, for some reason, over a year to know that it's a boy. Every single time, for some reason, he thinks it's a girl. Let me know if you guys ever thought Peck is a girl, which is fine, no, what is it called? No labeling here, but...
Oh, just so you know, Peck was once also a puppet too.
Oh, you're right.
We designed the Peck as a puppet, and it was a lot more intricate than Gus in a bad way. So let's say Gus puppet size was kind of equivalent to this, right? It's just easy to fit, easy to walk around. Peck was like a lot bigger. It was like this big. He had glasses on, and he was able to move his mouth, but he has a peck.
Right.
So we can't just do this motion to open his mouth. So there is like a little triggers inside, and it was just too technical. And we actually broke it like after the first couple weeks.
Yeah, I forgot about that because when we had launched Gus the Gummy Gator channel, over time we realized he should have some friends on his channel, you know? And so since we had created Peck, we thought, hey, we can, you know, have Peck on the Gus the Gummy Gator show. And so we tried to make into a puppet, but yeah, that was interesting. You know, not everything that people do is a success, okay? But it's a learning experience. And
yeah, because on this one, we had a mistake completely in the opposite way. So Gus, we designed Gus based on him being a puppet. So we wanted to design, make sure it's feasible, making him into puppet. For Peck, we just designed the character in illustration first, not thinking about turning him into a puppet. And afterwards, we decided to turn him into puppet, and then we found out, oh, okay, his body anatomy is not really working well with the puppet style. So that's a little bit of a try and error that was happening behind the scene.
so there's another character that we have forgotten about before Alpha Alexa.
Yeah, I completely forgot.
This. You guys know this character here?
No. I think we even had him even before Peck. The reason I forgot is he was supposed to be just a kind of like a side character, just in the background. And I didn't really put too much thought in it. Designer just showed it to me. I was like, okay, that's fine. I thought he just only appears in one episode.
So we had him in our first animation, and to have no voice is just all blah, 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 because we didn't really think about, you know, featuring him again. And so we thought, you know, it's a cute little monster. It doesn't really need a voice. Doesn't need to have its own, like, voice talent, you know, for him. But he's still here, thriving.
And we also made him into a puppet too.
Yeah, so again, because of the Gus the Gummy Gator show, we thought, you know, it's kind of lonely just with Gus by himself. So we need to introduce varieties of friends, right, to put him in this fun situation. So Mo was one of them.
So he was puppet before. We still have him as a puppet, and he appears on Gus' channel before many times as a puppet. It was easier to manipulate him compared to Peck puppet.
Right.
Peck puppet, I think we used only a handful of times, and then we gave up on it. I was like, well, it's not working, even though he was the most expensive puppet among all the other puppets. But yeah, we kind of like the Mo puppet. It was it kind of fits perfectly in the hand, and it was easy for us because all we have to do is rah, rah, rah. We don't have to really have a real dialogue every time he appears. And there's a lot of always question about, is Mo a monster or alien?
I think there is an episode we did with Draw My Life that explains the origin of Mo on the Gus the Gummy Gator channel.
And I think he was alien.
So check it out if you want to know. I'll put it up here.
And then this is the big one, the Alpha Alexa.
Yes.
Right, the first female character. And you know, even back then, there are a lot of female fans, right, for Ryan's World channel, and they felt like they weren't really represented through these characters, and got emails from parents all the time that, hey, when's the new girl character comes up, but we've been testing over and over. I think Alpha Alexa we spent a lot of time too.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be the first female character. We want it to be really good, so. We went back and forth so many times just on the design. The first inspiration for Alpha Alexa was actually another YouTuber. This female YouTuber, I'm sure everybody knows her, Wenji. Actually, I met her afterwards in New York when we had the YouTube event. But yeah, back then she had like a rainbow hair.
Right.
Or like a unicorn hair, has like sky blue and green and a mixture of the pink. When I look at her hair, I was like, oh, that would be a good kind of inspiration for the female character we're looking for. That's why when you look at Alpha Alexa, has that kind of color scheme of the green, pink, and the sky blue.
Right. And I actually really like how Sean, you can't really translate it into a hoodie, but her original design as an animated character her hoodie kind of like a gradient, you know?
Yeah, trying to be a little bit more hip and trendy. Back then, that was tie-dye, but then with white was just was the style back then. So I wanted to incorporate that. But later on, a lot of people complain because it's hard to animate with that kind of style. So it's easier if it's solid color. And obviously this one too. So after Alpha Alexa, we got the great selections of the Ryan's World characters that they're all friends of Ryan. And now we felt like there's another missing piece. Now all the friends are there. We need the nemesis. We need the enemy. Introducing the villain. There was a scribble on the whiteboard when we were in the office. I think one of the animators kind of sketched up like an evil version of Ryan, like a Red Titan. It looks like hair is a little bit more kind of shaggy, and he has an eye patch. It looks like a Red Titan, but then it looks a little bit more evilish, and I thought it was kind of cool. It's a evil character, but then also at the same time it looks cool and hip. So I told right away the designer who kind of sketched up on the whiteboard, hey, why don't you make this into a real character? Why don't you start designing it on the computer and then add color and then show it to me? And that's kind of how we started with Dark Titan. That's why it looks exactly like Orion, a little bit. So this is Dark Titan, right? And one thing I wish we could have changed was his R logo. We should have just kind of reversed it.
Yeah.
Or change the D because he Dark Titan.
Right.
There's no R just to represent, so.
Right. What is?
Maybe you should do R and cross.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's okay. It's okay to change later on. So maybe that's something we'll add it.
Even Mickey Mouse, right? If you watch how Mickey Mouse was in the beginning when it was created until now, it has changed the design over time. So I think it's okay to still change it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was really nice to introduce a whole bunch of
villains.
You know, that's what we needed. And after Dark Titan, we thought there should be more.
The one after Dark Titan was Robo Combo. This is not something that we came up with actually in-house. One of our licensing partner, Bonkers, they make great figures like this. They show me the design of a robot version of a combo. And when I looked at it, it looks a little bit more evilish design. He looks kind of like evil with the no facial expressions, like soulless. I thought it would be perfect for the villain character. So because Red Titan has a Dark Titan as an arch nemesis, I thought maybe Robo Combo could be arch nemesis of Combo.
And we also introduced it through our animation too. Ryan built a robot animation.
Oh, that's the first episode?
Yeah, that was the first video that features the spoiler at the end. If you watch till the very end and the door opened and then out came Robo Combo.
And the way I introduced Robo Combo on the Combo channel, we wanted to kind of do a little bit more exciting way for his entrance into the Ryan's World universe. So the way we did it was first Combo played up against Robo Combo first on the first episode, right? And Combo actually lost on this gaming kind of battle between Robo Combo and Combo. And the next episode, actually Combo's channel has been taken over by Robo Combo, being hacked, and all the thumbnails, all the channel banners, all being changed to Robo Combo channel banner. I thought it was kind of genius idea, that, changing everything into that. So actually channel design also kind of going along with the storyline of the video. And then we stopped kind of uploading for like a few days extra, just kind of make it look even more authentic. Our plan for this year, actually, for introducing new characters, we're gonna focus on female characters, because right now we only have Alpha Alexa, and that's it. We don't have any other iconic female characters in Ryan's World universe. So this year we're gonna focus on introducing more, right?
Yeah, because, you know, Alpha Alexa, she's very, I don't want to use the word feminine, but, you know, she loves fashion, right? She really cares about her looks. Even though she loves playing video games, she's really stylish, right? And then, you know, we receiving comments, which is true. We do listen. We receive comments that said, my girl is not like that, where she cares about makeup or the way she looks. She cares more about athletics, you know, she likes sports, right?
Yeah, and going outdoor and take on adventure do rock climbing. Those things, some girls like that too.
Yeah.
We thought that's a great feedback from the fans, and we thought we should introduce new characters with that kind of attribute too. So that's coming up soon too, or maybe it has, just depending on when we release this video.
We introducing that character, and her name is, drum roll, maybe we mentioned this before.
Pinkies. Yeah, that Pinkies.
So let us know if you guys know what character it is. I don't know by the time this upload or not if that video is out. But right now, currently in our timeline, we are finalizing the voice talent for that character. We started making videos with her. Just haven't selected and finalized her actual voice yet. And another female character this year that we haven't really featured is Combo. He's not an only child. He actually have a sister. Her name is
Coco,
which is really, really cute. I love that name.
Yeah, we want to kind of have the little similar name as Combo, so I think Coco kind of was a great idea. And she actually already appearing on some of the Ryan's World projects, actually. It could be gaming, could be figures. You don't know just yet, but I already saw some initial designs, her being into the project, and it's looking great. But yeah, she's going to be appearing in a lot of animations in this year, and I think she's going to be appearing in Combo's channel for sure very soon.
So there's a bonus character that I want to mention. So when we started coming up with female character, there was a side character that we have trademarked. It is a bunny character. Her name is Bella, and we had used her in an Easter animation. And I think that is it, because again, right, not every design or every idea that, I think it's not just us, right? Any company that comes up with, make it through, So we started with her, but we didn't really know where to take her from. So she's kind of just stuck in an Easter animation right now. And I don't think her design, when we designed her, was as unique as Alpha Alexa. So then that's why Alpha Alexa just kind of took over.
Yeah, there was kind of a conversation. Do you want to just keep going with Alpha Alexa or introduce another one? But then this Bella, the bunny, have the same color scheme as Alpha.
Yeah.
Very similar. And also the design was too leaning toward the animal, like the bunny, right? It looks too bunny.
Right.
If you look at the Alpha Alexa or Combo, even though they're cat and the panda, they're standing with the two legs and just have a good mixture of kind of human anatomy with their original animal base. This Bella didn't have that, so it kind of looked awkward along with the other characters. So she's kind of not, I wouldn't say terminated, but she hasn't been appearing in the show. Could be appearing some other time. We don't know, but yeah. I feel like
I think she needs a redesign work first.
We'll do a little makeover, and she may come back. Who knows? Maybe she just sneak in the background on some of the episodes that I don't know.
So yeah, there is other characters along the way, like pack rats, henchmen, that we had introduced for the Amazon Super Spy Ryan show that I think needs its own separate episode on how the character came about, what's the inspiration, and all that good stuff. But we're going to end it here. The video is getting long. And so we're going to end with the sticky word of the day. This is to honor Bella the bunny, who never made it past the Easter episode. I think she must have probably appeared in a Gus the Gator animated show one time, but besides that, she just kind of hibernating right now, waiting for her turn to come up from the ashes, if you say.
Yeah, the only time I see her on screen, on my screen at least, is when I have a conversation with the trademark attorneys asking me what I'm going to do with the Bella bunny, and I always just tell them just pause on it.
But yeah, so the sticky word of the day in honor of Bella the bunny is bunny or rabbit.
In Japanese, rabbit is usagi. Usagi.
Usagi?
Yeah.
Usagi.
Usagi. If you have watched Sailor Moon before, the main character's name is also Usagi. Her first name is Usagi.
So it's based on being a rabbit.
Yeah, her character design, obviously she's a human, but
Yeah.
kind of inspiration is coming from a rabbit.
Oh, is that why she has those really long
Tail. So
ponytail?
so it's the long ears from the rabbit.
I see. Good to know. Thank you for that fun fact. So the word bunny or rabbit in Vietnamese is gong ta.
Gong ta.
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 Well, gong is just any word where you say, so it's just
Gong.
ta.
Ta.
Yeah.
Gong ta. Gong ta.
I know it's hard.
I cannot say it fast.
Yeah,
Gong.
I get it.
I have to in a sentence. I have to pause a little bit. Then gong ta.
Yeah. Yay!
Yay!
So now you know. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this really hopefully fun and maybe not as exciting, but more.
Yeah, so this episode is not really, as fun as some other episodes maybe, but, this is what's happening behind the scene when we introduce exciting characters into Ryan's World Universe, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, so hopefully you guys have a fantastic day and see you guys on the next episode. I don't know what's going to be about, but hopefully I'll see you then. Next episode, okay?
It's a
Saturday. It's a mystery. Bye, Stickies.